I found 5 hacks to get your brand new LLC funded with over $100,000 in business credit in just 24 hours. This credit will come with 0% interest for 6 months up to even 15 months. By leveraging these hacks, you can rapidly build your business credit profile and secure the financing necessary to grow and scale your new LLC. And you should know that this is all from the ground level. The business can qualify with $0 in revenue, and to get started is just a soft credit pull. I interviewed Tristan, who is a business credit consultant, and this is what he said was possible just by leveraging your personal credit to fund your business.
You can get access to $300,000 within 24 hours going the PG route.
And he told me exactly why he thinks business loans are overrated. And if that wasn't enough, he revealed a strategy that he wished he knew a long time ago. And this strategy can guarantee you multiple 6 figures of business credit for any new business idea that you come up with.
If I would have started this when I was 18, I would have multiple businesses and I would have over $100,000 in each business.
So the first hack is you need to create an outstanding credit profile that makes banks want to trip over themselves to lend you money. You'll need a FICO score over 680 to get in the door, but a 720 score and up will blow that door wide open for you. Remember, your FICO score is what most banks will be judging you on, but many banking apps still give you your Vantage 3.0 score, which can throw you off. You can check your FICO score for free with MyFICO and Experian apps. You want to have a good credit mix of revolving credit and installment loans. If you have at least one mortgage active on your credit report, that makes you look very good. For credit utilization, you want to be below 20%, but obviously lower is better. The mainstream websites will tell you that below 30% is optimal, but don't listen to that nonsense because the FICO scoring company themselves say that high achievers have below a 7% utilization rate. This might be the toughest criteria to meet, but you don't want to have any recent credit inquiries. A good rule of thumb to follow is only to apply for one card for every 6 months. Banks consider excessive inquiries on your report to be a sign of credit seeking, meaning they view you as a person that's hard up for money who most likely can't repay their debt. You also don't want any collections, late payments, or past due payments showing up on your credit report either. You'll want to have $10,000 to $15,000 in available credit with some of the big 4 banks. So that's Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citi. And here's the key. You want to be the primary account holder on all of these accounts to really do you justice. And also, an average age of accounts of over 8 years would be perfect. And just remember, all of this has to do with your personal credit. And that's why this is considered the personal guarantor route for business funding. You may not have a seasoned business credit score or business trade lines, but you do have excellent personal credit that you can leverage to get the job done. Taking this route to fund your business can work out well in the long run.
We utilize the personal guarantor to get the business funded. We don't utilize the business paydex score until the second round of funding. So most people come to us and they don't have a paydex score. So we focus primarily on educating and giving people access to business credit. And then for some clients, we do offer them a second round of funding and we don't charge for it. And they can come in and we utilize their paydex score to get them access to more money and teach them how to utilize it and leverage it.
So next, you'll want to structure your business properly. You may want to set up an LLC instead of a sole proprietorship. Don't make the same mistake that I did. I was working on this content creation business for almost 2 years before I took the initiative to form an LLC. I'm still working full time and I thought it would be too much paperwork, but it's much easier than I thought it would be. I personally used InkFile to form my LLC and file my S-Corp documents for me. They even keep my documents like my business EIN and articles of organization backed up online. I'll leave a link below if you're interested. One of the advantages of an LLC is that it's a separate legal entity from you, the owner, which means that the liability of the business is limited to the assets of the LLC rather than your personal assets. That's why it's called limited liability. This can be a big selling point for lenders as it makes the business less risky to fund. They know that they won't be personally liable for any legal issues or debts that the business may face. Another benefit of an LLC is that it's typically more structured and formal than a sole proprietorship. For instance, an LLC usually has a formal operating agreement that outlines things like ownership percentages, distribution of profits, and decision-making processes. This level of organization can make the business more credible and appealing to lenders. Now, you'll have to give that LLC a name, right? This is where you'll want to be very strategic about how you name your business because it's all about how you position it to make it look respectable.
I tell a lot of people too, hey, the name of your business is very important. The adult entertainment industry tend to be a gray area for banks to want to lend to because it's the adult entertainment industry. However, I tell clients and partners, hey, if you want to open up something like that, change the name. Maybe put it into an S Corp, and just use your last name and corporations. That way, if the big bank asks you, hey, what type of business do you operate? Not trades, commodities, or luxury, however you want to position it that way and without giving too much information that can reduce your chances of getting funded.
When I named my LLC, I just followed the contemporary standards of my industry. So I landed on the name Barton Media. This way the bank can know exactly what my business does in an instant, and it falls right in line with everyone else. You don't want to be an outlier on the bank spreadsheet. That's going to get you denied. You want to appear as an average business and have no red flags in your loan application. This way you're considered a safe choice with no complications or issues. And like Tristan said, if you have some odd business type that might raise red flags, just rework the name to something more broad and generalized. You'll want to use a NAICS code that closely matches what industry your business is in. The NAICS, or North American Industry Classification System code, is a standardized system of numerical codes used by businesses and government agencies to classify and analyze economic activity. For my business, I could use options like internet publishing and broadcasting or marketing consulting services. So just like this, you have your own set of choices. If you're not sure what applies to you, just do what I did and ask ChatGPT. For example, if you had a medical supplies shipping company, you could say, my company ships medical equipment between hospitals and pharmacies. What NAICS code applies to me? Then it tells me couriers and express delivery services. Then I ask, do I have any other options? It gives me 3 more options, and the first being specialized freight. Paying for a virtual address can be better than using your home address because it gives your business a more professional image. Let's face it, if you're just starting out, having your home address listed as your business address can make it seem like you're not a serious player in your industry. But with a virtual address, you can have an address in a known location that can make your business seem more established and professional. This can help you build credibility with banks and customers. Also, when you use a virtual address, you can keep your personal address completely private. This is important because you don't want to have anybody showing up at your house unexpectedly or having your personal information available to anyone who wants to look it up. The same place where I formed my LLC, which is called InkFile, also provides a virtual address service. Tristan can also handle that for you if you prefer a more hands-off approach.
If a client comes to me and say, hey, I want to get a virtual address, that's something that's a click of a button. Super easy to set up for them.
So a big question you probably have is, do you need a website, like a huge online resume that shows the world that you're in business and you're making moves out here? I was a little surprised by the answer.
Not really a factor. I funded my business with, I don't have a website. I don't have any type of presence. I just have a good credit score and a business. So yeah, you don't really need presence like that. I know some people were saying you got to have the business phone number, the website, the 1-800 number. Not necessarily. It depends on who you're working with. If you're trying to go the route when you're trying to get a DUNS number and get the net 30 vendors, the long business funding route, then yes, all of that helps. But this route, the PG route, personal guarantor route, not necessarily.
So why would anybody willingly choose the long route? It seems like a lot of time and effort to put in.
So the long route is for people who credit don't necessarily qualify right now, but they have a business and they want to start getting that business operating. And as they go on a long route, hopefully some of that income from their business, they're paying themselves a little bit more to focus and rebuild their personal credit. Personal credit is level 1, business credit is level 2. We utilize level 1 to start building level 2 rather than jumping right into level 2 and forgetting about level 1.
Here's what I didn't realize. There's a significant number of people with great businesses and incomes, but poor personal credit. Therefore, the personal guarantor route wouldn't work for them. They would need to build up their business credit scores and trade lines separately and qualify for funding using only their business revenue and assets as collateral to secure the loan. They would need to use real estate, equipment inventory, or their account balances to get the deal done. But there's good news. You don't need to do all that because the personal guarantor route doesn't have that long list of requirements. So you may be thinking, I'm still new, I'm still figuring things out, my business doesn't earn much money, how can I qualify?
No level of income is needed. Like I said, we start with startups. I had a business he's been in business for 3 years. He's technically not a startup. He has no business income because the business was incorporated. He just wasn't active with it. Now he's like, hey, you know what? I'm ready to get active, but I haven't made any money with my business. So how can I get my business funded? Through the personal guarantor route, we can fund your business. So if the business is generating income, I can now use that business income to get you access to more money.
And a business plan is not required, but I was pleasantly surprised to hear what solutions he would offer if you decided to apply without one.
They don't necessarily need a business plan. However, I encourage it because what we do is I don't want a person to come in that qualifies for $100,000 that has no business plan. And they put this money in a position where they don't scale their business. They don't make an income. So a business plan is not important because now we can educate. Tell me about your business. I'm a consultant. So tell me about your business. Now let's see how we're going to factuate your proof for 100,000. What's your plans on implementing that 100,000? How do you plan on using it? And I would take what they tell me and I would give them my idea of how they should implement that money. I'm not saying I want to take control of your business. No. If I see that you said something that can potentially fail, or not necessarily fail, but can bring your business harm, I'm going to mention it. And I want to save your business. So if they don't have a plan, I'm going to help them establish a plan. If they do, I'm going to go over it.
So here's the thing. He will let you know if your business doesn't have a great product market fit, has too much competition, has legal issues, or has trouble scaling. It's in his best interest to keep the business alive to provide more funding in the future as it grows. But there are a few things you will need, such as business documents, including your articles of incorporation, EIN number, driver's license, and social security number. Even if you haven't formed your business yet and are missing business specific documents, my partner Tristan can actually get those forms filled out for you to get the ball rolling. All you truly need is a business idea that you want to execute on. The next hack is creating a trusted partnership with different lenders, also known as relationship banking. Relationship banking is a banking approach that emphasizes building long-term relationships with customers rather than focusing solely on short-term transactions. One of the key benefits of relationship banking is that it can help build trust and loyalty between you and the bank. So what does that look like? To start the relationship, you'll want to open a business checking account and deposit at least a few $100s. Then continue to make regular deposits into that account. Doing this opens the door to a strategy you can use to exceed your business funding goals.
And part of that strategy is to give the client access to multiple relationships. And I'm not saying just stacking them. No, I'm giving them access to 2 or 3 relationships to the point where now, hey, or 6 months, if you got credit cards, now we can increase those credit card limits. At 12 months, we can increase those credit card limits as well. So if you came to me saying, hey, look, I need 50 grand, but I was only able to give you 25,000, you can increase those trade lines every 6 months to get to your goal. And I will help you do so.
Also, here's a bonus hack. You can open up a CD or certificate of deposit with the bank. This can allow you to use that CD as collateral for a business loan with that same bank, which would then report on your business credit report. And once that reports for a few months, it gives you the ability to pursue larger loans with other banks. Next, it's essential to choose the type of funding that both meets your business needs and meets you where you are currently on your entrepreneurship journey.
I have people that come to me that's like, I want a loan. That educational piece is huge to save them from jumping into a loan, making that commitment when the business is not ready to take on a loan yet. The income isn't there. So let's do a credit card or a line of credit. That way, if you need $1,000 here, you have it. But when you need 20 grand, for when you know you need 20 grand, you have it. Rather than just taking a loan for 20 grand and now you're not utilizing that money, but nothing's coming back yet.
So let's say you're trying to get a loan for your business. One way you could secure the loan is by finding a personal guarantor. This is basically someone who promises to pay back the loan if your businesses can. It's like having a co-signer on the loan. This gives the lender some extra security because they know that they can go after the personal guarantor if things don't work out. But the thing is, you need good personal credit for this method. The cool part is anybody can become a personal guarantor for any business, so you have options if you make the right connections. Another way to secure a loan is by offering collateral. This is when you pledge an asset like your business's property or equipment to the lender as a form of security. This gives the lender a guarantee that they can get their money back if you can't repay the loan. If you default on the loan, the lender can take possession of the collateral and sell it to recover the amount owed. And with this method, you need to build up your business trade lines and business credit over a long period of time. But the good thing is you wouldn't need your personal credit to qualify in many cases. So if you're constantly trying to apply for business term loans or SBA loans and you don't have a super long track record of doing business, then you're going to get denied. It's much better to start with business credit cards and lines of credit to give your business that initial push. Next, don't let your lack of a business credit profile stop you from starting your journey of entrepreneurship. You can start building your business trade lines from day one just by leveraging your personal credit to qualify for business credit cards. Since you just started your LLC, you probably don't have any business assets to use as collateral or enough cash flow to meet the minimum lending requirements for term loans. Those requirements are typically around $10,000 in revenue per month. That's $120,000 per year, which can be really hard to do. But you can still fund your business for at least the first year using credit cards to buy furniture for your Airbnb or to buy a riding lawnmower for your landscaping business. It really is the best first step to take to lift your business off the ground.
My smallest business was a guy that does shoe repair in the mall. He has a small little booth in the mall. He does shoe repair, and I funded him $35,000.
And while you're still in the beginning stages, you can get started on the long process of building business credit by getting your DUNS number, listing your business phone number, then signing up for relevant vendor accounts with net 30 terms. Companies like Staples, Wayfair, and Amazon have accounts like these that report to the business credit bureaus. This is really the natural order for building business credit, using those easily attainable business cards to help speed up your time to qualify for large business loans. But listen, you may not even need a business loan for the type of operation that you're running, and some people think they're a bit overrated.
Overrated, I would say, is loans. And I'm gonna tell you why. As soon as someone starts a business, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get a business startup loan. But no, get a business credit card, because once you utilize that money, you can pay it off, but you still have access to that money. When you get a loan, you get a lump sum, you spend that money, it's gone. You pay it back, it's gone. But I think the business credit cards or lines of credit is really underrated.
Also, Tristan shared his strategy to guarantee yourself multiple $100,000 lines of credit for any new business idea.
I would have opened up a new business every 6 months. And people are like, why would you do that? Because I would run my credit every 6 months. And I would guarantor each business. And I would just try to get a business funded with credit cards or a line of credit, something that I can increase that limit, never a loan. To the point where now I can start working those trade lines to increase them. I would have multiple businesses and I would have over $100,000 in each business. And just working capital.
So that was definitely eye-opening, and Tristan and the team can show you exactly how to get funded, guiding you through the process, or if you don't have time for that, they can complete the whole process for you. And do you know the #1 reason why small businesses fail? It's due to cash flow. It's responsible for the collapse of 82% of those businesses. Good cash flow gives your business the ability to pay bills on time, the flexibility to invest in growth, and the ability to weather economic downturns like we're experiencing right now. So definitely check the links in the description to get your business funded today. If you're looking for more options to fund your business ideas, definitely check out this video next. Thank you for watching.